Okay, hello, this is Julius LM for the NBPA, and I'm going to be doing a match replay, battle replay analysis. I got some statistics over here, just the teams, and I'm going to be looking over this replay. And this replay was a match from week 1 of the Cantor Division, which is the top division in NBPA Season 3. The link to the NPBA's Discord will be in the description. The NPBA is National Dex Draft League, National Dex OU Draft League, run by a brilliant moderation team, spearheaded by Jody. So definitely check that out. Now, this match is very unique in the fact that it features Chatot, and it's actually counted as a Chatot sweep. Now, it wasn't a full Chatot 6-0, but it also was. You'll see what I mean by the end of the battle. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to have a look at the teams. So this match is, again, week 1, so neither team has form going into the match. But we can have a look at the teams. I'd say that Adam, representing the Leafy Boys, has the edge. I mean, Tapu Koko is a prominent threat. Like a Specs or Life or Tapu Koko is going to be damaging everything on this team. Barring Gligar, which still isn't going to take Dazzling Gleam. Now, that's one of the things I was surprised about by Jcaps' battle team, is that they didn't bring Gligar. And Gligar would have actually mitigated the Chatot. For instance, over here, Gligar defensive against the Chatots. If you run 156 special defensive EVs with like a careful nature, Boom Burst is only doing between 30 and 44.9%. Now, while that's quite a lot of damage, when you factor Roost into the equation and the fact that you can have Rock Slide, you can mitigate Chatot with Gligar. And as well, it would add something different to the team, and it would have formed a nice core with Hydreigon, because Gligar gets U-turn. So I think I was quite surprised that Jcaps didn't bring Gligar, and I think that led to their downfall in the end. That was partly why they lost the match. Adam's roster is phenomenal. I mean, I'm a big fan of Como pairs nicely with Melmetal and Tapu Koko. And Saved by Mega is a brilliant Mega. I mean, the ability Magic Bounce preventing hazards, and that was always going to be problematic for Ferrothorn, which was Tapu Koko's main answer. Slowbro. And yeah, Jcaps was going to have to use special attackers to deal with that. Gengar was another prominent threat. I like the addition of Licky to deal with the Gengar somewhat. Things didn't exactly turn out that way, but it was good to hear the outlet for the ghost type attacks, because Gengar applied pressure to both Slurpuff and Slowbro, so I think that was good. But yeah, I can see why Jcaps didn't bring Gligar, because obviously the Weavile, and there was a potential that Adam may have brought Weavile instead of either Sableye or Gengar. So I can understand why they didn't bring Gligar. I just think it was necessary to deal with Tapu Koko. In terms of any changes that Adam could have made, it would have been cool to have seen Komala, just because I like seeing that Pokemon in action, and I thought it could have put in a bit of work against the special attackers. But the 6 that they chose, the 6 that both of them chose, were like very good. The only substitution I would have made is Gligar for Licky. And so we'll get into the battle. So from the lead, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Adam's going to be looking for the Mega Save by lead, and as you will see, Jcaps leads with Ferrothorn. Now, standard lead, you know, your Ferrothorn, your Mega Save, like playing it safe, and Jcaps has got quite a bulky team, so it makes sense that you lead Ferrothorn and see if they could get away with anything, because, for instance, if they led Tapu Koko trying to take an offensive standpoint, that would have given them rocks, because obviously Sabler has to Mega Evolve to gain Magic Bounce. So I think that was definitely worth a try. But I put them on the back foot straight away and I had to go Slurpuff. Now I actually like the Slurpuff set a lot. This was Electric Seed, obviously to deal with the Tapu Koko, and yeah, to benefit from that. And of course that works in tandem with Unburden, which is Slurpuff's ability. So yeah, very, very good idea. Didn't work out. Things just didn't work out for them in that regard, but it was a good attempt, and that's what you want to see, that innovation, and that's what Draft League is all about. So credit to Jcaps for that. Now I have to say, Adam's use of Mega Sableye in this battle was phenomenal. The 3 players in this battle, the 3 key Pokemon in this battle for Adam were Mega Sableye, Tapu Koko, and Chatot. Yeah, just exquisite usage of them Pokemon. And see what I mean about the Licky coming in for the Gengar. So again, but the argument to that is, could Gligar have been used for that? But then again, that would mean that Gligar would have to be dealing with Tapu Koko and Gengar and Chatot. So it would have to be primarily, especially defensive in nature, and it would have quite a big workload. So there's arguments for and against bringing it and for its usage. Sableye Mega coming back in. Knockoff obviously not doing anything because it has a Mega Stone. And we go back to this cycle. Now Gengar comes in, which is interesting. Another option was Melmetal. But I feel Gengar was the right play. Applies pressure to everything. And this is around the point where I would have liked to have seen Hydreigon getting involved, because it's a special attacking threat, and that's going to be his main way of breaking down Sableye Mega. I think a Life Orb set with, say, Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse, Earth Power, and Roost would have worked well, because Hydreigon outspeeds a Chatot, and as you'll see, that would have been helpful. Can deal with Commo, outspeeds that as well, providing it's not Scarf. While it does get outsped by Gengar, it can take a hit or two, but it doesn't need to be dealing with that. You got the Tornado Spherein to get rid of it because it outspeeds it, and you can whittle it down with some of the other Pokemon, say like Ferrothorn and whatnot. And yeah, I think a core of Ferrothorn, Gligar, and Hydreigon would have worked well. But even in the context of this battle, in the context of the 6 Pokemon that are being used, Hydreigon being introduced from the start would have applied some offensive pressure and put pressure on that Sableye Mega, because as you can see, that's Adam's constant outlet. It deals with the Ferrothorn, the Licky. Tornadus takes a big hit here, but obviously Regenerators, Regenerators in play, so that's not going to factor in too much. And Licky again, it's a decent counter to the Gengar, but if Knockoff is disabled by a Curse Body, then you've got a problem on your hands there, especially when it's being whittled down by burn damage and Dazzling. Now I think this was actually Adam's best play, because he knows that the Licky Wants to wish. It needs either to recover health or he needs to go into something. So the wish makes sense. And Tapu Koko coming in here is really good, because look, it hits Tornadus. Tornadus definitely can't come in. Hydreigon's not going to come in. That nullifies all his offensive pressure, because Hydreigon, again, that is his main special attacker here. That's what's going to be putting work against his team. Life Orb Earth Power could do 60 to 80% to Melmetal, depending on sets and whatnot. hits Gengar, again Earth Power. Hits Tapu Koko, Earth Power. Sableye Mega, as bulky as it is, isn't going to like a Draco Meteor. Neither is Como and Chatot. Don't even get me started on that. But brilliant Pokemon like Chatot. Costs 1 point in this league, and as you will see, it put in work. But yeah, I definitely think this is Adam's best play, simply because of the offensive momentum it gave him. Protect there, and that makes sense, getting the health back. Now Ferrothorn comes in, and the taunt, brilliant. I mean, because it covers so many plays. It covers Ferrothorn coming in. It covers Licky Licky trying to get another wish off. And I mean, nothing else is going to come in. It even covers a Slurpuff that wants to come in, which again isn't a counter. The two likely plays were either a Licky Licky wish or Ferrothorn coming in. Ferrothorn being taunted limits what it can do, means it's only going to attack or it's going to switch up. Again, putting Jcaps on the back foot, which is what led to their downfall, and not being able to get Hydreigon in just took away any momentum they had, and that's what allowed Chatot to get the sweep in the end. And you will see that I think the use of Tapu Koko was even better than the use of Chatot in this battle. Sableye Mega coming back in again. That's the constant outlet. It's such a good Pokemon. Now, this play, it might have seemed a bit ballsy, but you have to take into consideration Adam already has the momentum, and the fact that Sableye's in on Ferrothorn, means that, and it's taunt, and Ferrothorn's taunted, means it has to switch. Now, he's unlikely to bring in Tornadus. Slurpuff is a likely play, which isn't going to outspeed Chatot. This is where I think Hydreigon had to come in. Yes, you're risking a knockoff. Yes, you might get Will-O-Wisp, but you need Hydreigon in. You need that offensive pressure, and I don't think Jcaps' play was bad by any means. I think Jcaps played very well in this, and they were unlucky in having 2 Hurricane misses, which you'll see. But I think they did need to take a more active approach, and their passive approach meant that Chatot could establish itself. So I definitely think going Hydreigon here would have been effective, because look, Hydreigon's 324 speed, Chatot's 309 at most. Even if Chatot's Scarf, it's not going to kill Hydreigon. Then you're put in a situation where, okay, I get to make a read. If it's Draco Meteor hits Sableye Mega, I mean, let's count that quickly, because you're forcing the opponent into an undesirable situation, and that is what you need to beat a team like that. Especially when you've got a defensive team that's going to struggle to get momentum. You need to take every opportunity that you get. So Sableye Mega, just input this into the calculator, the Pokemon damage calculator. Oh, utility. See, look, it's only 57.7 to 68.6%. This is a life upset. Timid. Yeah, and that's the kind of thing you need, because then that puts Sableye Mega on the back foot, and then you'd have a follow-up play where you could likely Earth Power, and that would get the kill and prevent them from going into Tapu Koko or Melmetal. So I definitely think Hydreigon was a play here, and if that play was made, it would have been interesting to see how the battle would have turned out. But good for Adam getting the Chatot in, Boom Burst hitting. Now, another thing, could Jcaps have gone into Ferrothorn first, because the Boom Burst was the most likely move, and that would have allowed them to have scouted for whether Chatot was Specs. That's a potential play. Again, that's not a criticism. I think that Jcaps has played very well defensively. There's just a few adjustments, and if I was in their situation, I wouldn't have made these plays. I'm not saying I would have. I'm just saying that, given the benefit of hindsight, that's a potential play. So yeah, Boomba's doing 33%, and this isn't the specs chatbot, by the way. Boomba's taking out Slurp off, and that Slurp off going down is a bad thing because it gives Sableye Mega free range to do what it wants, essentially. Again, Hydreigon was the only Pokemon in Adam's team that really pressured the Sableye Mega, apart from Slurpuff. But Hydreigon was a special attacking threat that didn't need to set up to pressure it, and again, I think it should have came in earlier to apply that pressure. I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself. I will get better, and the quality of the videos will get better in time. Now the Hurricane miss is unfortunate. Spherical has to come back in and take another hit. It's getting whittled down, and that is not good. Again, Mega Sableye, constant outlet. Chatot comes back in. Now again, this is a repeat of the play before, and this was another opportunity where this situation with Licky Licky and Sableye Mega is an example of a situation where Jcaps could have brought in Hydreigon. Because again, if Hydreigon came in at any of these points, I think that the battle could have been very different, because first of all, Chatot wouldn't have been able to establish itself. Second of all, Jcaps would have had the chance to have made a 50-50, which could have removed Sableye Mega, or at least weakened it, or removed Tapu Koko or Melmetal, or at least weakened them, or removed any of the Pokemon his team ready. Hydreigon was the key to winning this game, and I feel it should have been used and brought in earlier, especially in these situations, because there's been two maybe three situations where Hydreigon would have been brought in. That's 2 or 3 50-50, so you're giving yourself a good chance of, taking out Pokemon. But I respect the defensive approach from Jcaps, and that defensive approach is going to make them a difficult opponent in future battles, especially in a top division like Kanto, where a lot of it's going to be offensive, fast-paced Pokemon gameplay. But their defensive strategies will come into play later weeks, and I look forward to seeing what they produce. They were just on the wrong end of this result. So yeah, Chatot comes back in like before, and that's why another reason why I think Hydreigon should have came in, because if Chatot does come in, Hydreigon outspeeds it, and you don't want to have Chatot in against Hydreigon if you're Adam. Now Tornado Sphere comes in. So Adam's using the typical Encore set with agility instead of Nasty Plot. But agility allows it to outspeed things like Tornadus and Hydreigon. Now this Hurricane miss was the final nail in the coffin. And you'll notice at the beginning I said that that Chatot didn't sweep through the team, but it was a 6-0. And with Chatot taking 6 kills, the reason why is that Jcaps forfeited. As one onlooker said, F-ing a Chatot. So overall, brilliant game. And just to summarise, I think that Gligar being brought instead of Licky Licky would have been beneficial, and Hydreigon being implemented earlier would have been beneficial. On Adam's side of the table, it would have been nice to have seen Melmetal brought in at some point. But I think their use of Tapu Koko, made up for that. And I think their use of Tapu Koko was even more impressive than their use of Chatot. Perhaps, to play devil's advocate, perhaps Tapu Koko should have been brought in the situations when Chatot was brought in. I know it worked out for them, and rightly so. But if say Tapu Koko came in and and Jcaps did bring in the Hydreigon can't stay in because of Dazzling Gleam, and that means then that Ferrothorn has to come in. You get a Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, whatever, and you're applying pressure to all 6 Pokemon, because that's what Tapu Koko did, apply pressure to all 6 Pokemon. So it was a good battle, and one that had the potential to go either way, and with the benefit of hindsight, we can see how this battle could have gone either way. So well played to both players. I look forward to watching the rest of your matches. I'm not in their divisions, I'm in the Johto division, the middle division. As I said, we've got 4 divisions, Kanto top division, Johto middle division, and Hoenn and Sinnoh the lower divisions for like newer players and those who are reacquainting themselves with Draft League and competitive Pokemon. So yeah, overall brilliant battle, well played guys, and I will see you all in the next video. I'm going to try and get a few more of these out. The quality will improve, and I hope that I was able to entertain or inform. And yeah, have a great day everyone.